While I was working for Marvel, the first 20 years or so, I was just doing regular comics. Then, after a while, I really wanted to quit because I felt while Martin Goodman was a great guy and a good publisher, I didn't like really what he wanted me to do. He felt comics were just for young kids or stupid adults. And he used to say to me, "Remember, Stan, don't use words of more than 2 syllables, don't have too much dialogue, get a lot of action, don't worry about characterization." So I really wanted to quit and try something else. And I remember Joan said to me, "You know, Stan, if you want to quit, before you do, why don't you do one book the way you would like to do it? The worst that happens is Martin will fire you, and so what? You want to quit anyway." So coincidentally, at that time, he had found out that our competitor, DC Comics, they had done a book called The Justice League of America, a group of superheroes, and it was selling very well. So I figured this is my chance to do it my way. I came up with something I called the Fantastic Four, about 4 superheroes. But instead of making them heroes who wore costumes, I figured I'm not going to give them costumes. Because I always felt if I had a superpower, why would I want to put on a costume? First of all, I'm too much of a show-off. I'd want everybody to know it's me. I would never wear a mask. And why would I need a costume? If I could jump over a building. And I tried to make them real characters living in the real world. The hero wasn't just a perfect guy. He was a fellow like me. He talks too much. He's a scientist. Quite boring. He was always boring the others because when he explained anything, he went on forever, and one of the other guys was always saying, "Will you shut up?" The obligatory teenager in the group, instead of just like Robin with Batman, who just runs around and fights the bad guys with him, I made this teenager a guy who didn't want to be a superhero particularly. He was like I would have been when I was a teenager. He wanted to go out with girls and ride a sport car and so forth. The girl, instead of an obligatory female who always has to be rescued and doesn't know who the hero really is, she was the hero's fiance. She knew who he was. They all knew who they were. And she also had a superpower that was as good as anyone else's. So she was a fighting member of the team. And the fourth guy was a monster. Something had happened to him, and he became very ugly and incredibly strong. And I used him for both pathos and humor, because he was always fighting with the others, and not physically, but verbally. Always insulting them and yelling at them, and he was hot-tempered. And he was always picking on the Human Torch, that was the teenager, who was always picking on him, and I got a lot of comedy out of them. I called him the Thing, and he became by far and away the most popular member of the group. Well, the book did wonderfully. It sold great. But a funny thing happened. I got a lot of fan mail, and we had almost never gotten fan mail before. All the letters said essentially the same thing. "We love the book. It's the greatest. We'll keep buying it forever. You're the greatest writer. Jack is the greatest artist. It's terrific. But if you don't give them costumes, we'll never buy another issue." Now, I'll never understand why. I will never understand why, but for some reason, people who like superhero stories like their superheroes to wear costumes. Okay, I'm not going to go against that.